just starting with the dishes today in the kitchen. That's typically where I always start, is the dishes or the counters. That way, if I do the counters first, that way I know I have all the dirty dishes in the sink, instead of washing all the dishes and then realizing, oh, I have more dirty dishes on the counter. And I did not scrub the right side of the sink, as you'll see, because I knew that I would have at least a couple more dirty dishes from the table or the living room when I cleaned those up, so I didn't scrub this right side of the sink like I normally do. And moving on to the counters, as you see on the stove, I just have a bag of chicken I have out defrosting for our dinner that night, which was General Tso chicken. So I'm just going to continue to wipe down the I am just spraying them with my vinegar water mixture. It's just 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of water, and then a squirt or 2 of dish detergent. And I love wiping off my counters with that stuff. Alright, moving on to the dining room and kitchen floor now. I'm just making sure I get them all swept really good and everything, because they were quite dirty from the day. And I had already I somehow forgot to get video of me cleaning the dining room, so that's why there's no video of me cleaning the dining room, but I did clean it, as you can see, and it's already clean. So now we're just getting the floor swept. It's now later in the night and we have already put the children to bed. That way I can just make sure I get the living room nice and clean before it gets messed up again. So they are in bed and me and my husband, we're just, well, I'm cleaning the living room and then watching The Office, and he's watching The Office. Which is why I keep looking up at the television and laughing, because that's one of the best shows there is The Office. And for behind the recliners and the back of the living room, I just swept everything into a big pile and then sorted it out that way, just because there was a bunch of little stuff and I knew it would take a while to get it all picked up. So I swept it all into a pile and sorted it out, the good old sweep and sort. I was finally able to find a good angle to get footage of me cleaning the bathroom, so I have included that in today's video. I usually do a deep clean of the bathroom every Monday, and I'll scrub out the tub better, and I'll do a better job on the toilet and the sink, and I'll just get the bathroom cleaned really nice and good every Monday. But this is just a quick clean because it was quite strode. On to the master bedroom, and as you can see, it is filthy. I wasn't able to get in here hardly at all last week and get it cleaned up since Nate wasn't here sleeping, but it just got so dirty, as you can see. So I'm just gonna start getting it cleaned up. I'm putting all the clean clothes on the bed to just get them up out of the way, and then I just start pushing everything to the middle of the floor, because the sweep and sort is a lot easier for me to get it all cleaned up when there's a lot to do, like in the bedroom. As you can see, I'm just cleaning off the dresser and throwing anything that does not belong on the dresser onto the floor so I can get it cleaned up and put away. Next, I'm just taking the clean clothes and the dirty clothes that are on the floor and separating them out into separate baskets, because over the day, some of my clean clothes did And right here, what I'm doing with these 3 baskets is when I get a lot of clean clothes and it's just an overwhelming amount for me to fold all on one sitting, I will actually take them and I will separate them out. I'll put Zoe's in one bag or one box and Caleb's in another basket and mine in another, and then I'll just leave Nate's on the bed because he doesn't have a lot. But that way it's just easier for me, so I can just take one basket and fold a basket at a time and know exactly whose is in there and where they're gonna go, because as you can see, the bed is just full of clean clothes. So I do this little trick whenever I get too many clean clothes that it's just kind of overwhelming me. Another tip I have that I do with my laundry is I do wash smaller loads, and I typically always get them folded as soon as they come out of the dryer. That way the small loads, it helps me to make sure I get them done, because like I said, it's just the small. And here I'm just straightening up our storage closet because it just kind of got a little cluttered. And I knew I had some shoes that we have for Caleb that are a couple sizes too big that I needed to put in their little shoe basket. And it was kind of hard to get into the closet, so I decided to go ahead and clean it up because it takes a couple seconds. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a clean with me, whole house clean. I didn't get an after shot of the house, which I bummed about because it looked great, but this is the before. I do hope you enjoy it and that you like this video and leave me a comment, and as well as subscribe to my channel if you're not already. This will be a no talking clean with me, so let's get to it.
commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon.
Okay, so to start off, I am just putting away my dishes that I washed earlier in the day. I had cleaned out my refrigerator, so I have a bunch of Tupperware containers because I poured out the old food and everything. And as you can see, I just kind of had to reorganize the whole drawer for our Tupperware containers because we have recently got new ones. So they everything kind of wasn't fitting in the drawer, so we kind of had to fix that. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just reorganizing the Tupperware container drawer so it can all fit in there. Now I'm just putting over the leftover pizza that we had eaten for lunch that day and just continuing to clean the counters, because I usually try to start with the counters and the table and then go and do the dishes. That way I don't wash all the dishes and then go and clean the counters and then have more dishes to wash, because that's just the worst thing when you have to hand wash all of your dishes. And so now I'm obviously just washing the dishes. I don't have any real order that I wash the dishes in, just whatever I can do to get them done faster. So, yeah. And right here, I'm just going to scrub out one of the sides of the sinks because, as you can see, the towel that I have my clean dishes sitting on so they can dry out is completely full. So I'm just scrubbing out this side of the sink. That way I can put clean dishes in a clean sink to let them dry for a little while instead of clean dishes in the dirty sink. Now that I've finished washing all of my dishes, I'm just going to scrub out the other side of the sink. Since all my dishes are clean, I always like to scrub out both sides of my sinks just with some regular dish soap and water, just to get them clean since they have had dirty dishes and sitting in them for a while. So that's how I always finish off the dishes, is I just make sure to scrub the sink real good out. And now that I'm done with the dishes, I'm just going to go ahead and start working on the counters. They have been very messy this past few days because it's been the weekend, so I just went ahead and just put everything where it goes and just cleaned up from the weekend. The cleaner I'm using is just vinegar and water with some dish detergent in it. I like using it on pretty much everything. If I need to disinfect something or just get it good and clean, I like using the vinegar water because it's not super dangerous to use around little children. So I do like that, and I just do a 1-to-1 ratio of vinegar and water, and then just a few squirts of dish detergent. In the red basket, I have just like, because I don't have a lot of cabinet space, so I keep my oil, my peanut butter, my spray oil, and a couple of other little things on there, just so it helps my counters look not so cluttered, because I have all of that just in the box in the corner instead of just kind of all over the counters. So I really have loved putting all my kitchen essentials that I use daily in the red bucket, which, by the way, I got from the dollar store, so it was $1. So, yes. With sweeping the floor, every other week or even once a week, I do always pick up the mats off of the floor and just get it good and sweep under them and everything. We have those down just because the concrete floor, when cooking or washing dishes, it really starts to bother my legs or my feet. So we just put those down to help for the comfort of our trying to get it back into focus right there. But on dining room, I'm just cleaning off the table from the groceries. I didn't put them all away, so we're just cleaning that up real fast. And the gate right there, I actually made it ourselves. It's two of the, I don't know what they're called, but they're the gates that you can adjust the length. It's two of those that are just spread out enough to cover, because we have a pretty wide doorway leading into the kitchen and dining room and everything. And so I just kind of zip tied those together and put fabric over them. That way it looked nice, and it just works perfectly. I have little hook and eyes in the walls to keep it up and everything, but it just works perfectly to keep the kids out of the kitchen. And on to the kids' room. I typically make Caleb clean up his room every morning as part of his morning chores, but I just decided to go ahead and get it cleaned real good today. That way it's just clean and I don't have to worry about it tomorrow morning. I have like a wooden chest that sits behind the door to put all of his stuffed animals in that he's not sleeping with that night. He typically sleeps with a bunch of them, but anyone that he doesn't sleep with, we go ahead and just put it into the wooden bucket and they just stay there. Next is the master bedroom. I actually had this cleaned earlier today and the bed made and everything, but since Caleb had taken a nap in there, I had to redo it, and he dropped a car on his toe and hurt his toe. Kissed the boo-boo and got him a band-aid, and now I'm just finishing the bedroom, cleaning the clothes and everything. And I always do make up my bed first thing in the morning before I leave the room. But like I said earlier, Caleb had actually taken a nap in our bed today, so it was unmade, so I'm just remaking it up real fast. And for Caleb's clothes, I actually do roll up his complete outfits, so that way it's easier for him in the mornings to just grab a roll and get dressed without having to find a shirt and find pants and everything, and it really helps him out. And now I'm just cleaning up the living room. I actually waited until we put Zoe to bed because I knew if I tried to clean it up really good with her in the room, it would not get done. And I don't know why it's so blurry right now. I do believe I fixed it. And I do always try to get the kids to help me clean up their toys. If Zoe's awake, she helps me clean them up too. But since she was in bed, obviously she didn't help. But I am making Caleb help, as you can see, and I do typically always try to make them help me clean up the house because it is their mess too, and they need to learn how to keep their areas clean and everything. And I do usually just borrow my in-laws' small little vacuum cleaner to vacuum my rug, but since Zoe was asleep, I just decided to go ahead and sweep it, because it's not that big, so I just decided to sweep it instead of vacuum so I wouldn't risk waking her up. And the same with the kitchen rubber mats. I do move the whole couch, and I do pick up all of the rubber mats in the living room once every few months just to get it good and clean under there. it typically only gets really dirty around the edges of the mat, so I don't typically do it that often, but I will do it every now and then just to make sure it's clean. When I sweep everything into a pile like this, it helps me to just get it done better and faster by just picking up one category at a time. So like right now I'm picking up toys, and then I'll do clothes or whatever I do next. But it just do one thing at a time. That way by the time everything's put away, I just have trash and I just have to sweep it up and I'm done. And Caleb decided he wanted to say cheese and take a picture, so that's what he's doing right here. And that's all that I cleaned today. Thank you for stopping by and watching my video. I did do the bathroom earlier today, so I didn't record it.